Hello guys, in this lecture we are going to see Energy Conservation Act 2001. Actually, Energy Conservation Act, which is based on the conservation of the energy, is enacted on 1st October 2001 and it is become effective from 1st March 2002. The objective of this Energy Conservation Act is nothing but of providing necessary legal framework for promoting energy conservation measures in the country. The Bureau of Energy Efficiency, in shortly it is written as BEE, operationalized from 1st March 2002. Let's see the purpose of this act. The purpose of this act is to provide for efficient use of energy and its conservation. Second purpose is provide a policy framework and direction to national energy conservation activities. Third, coordinate policies and programs on efficient use of energy with stakeholders. Fourth, establish systems and procedures to verify measures and monitor electrical energy improvements. Fifth, leverage multilateral, bilateral, and private sector support to implement the Energy Conservation Act. Sixth one is nothing but demonstrate the energy delivery systems through public-private partnerships. And the last one is nothing but the most important purpose of this Energy Conservation Act is nothing but to promote the energy efficiency in the country. Let's see the what is designated consumers. The designated consumers are the consumers which has to get the energy audit by accredited energy audit firms and energy audit conducted by an accredited energy auditor. That consumers can be supposed to called as designated consumers. Also, they have to follow with the implement cost effective recommendations. Designated consumers are the consumers which also has to appoint or designate energy manager and also comply with energy consumption norms. By the regulation of Bureau of Energy Efficiency, they prescribed who is the designated consumers that should follow the BEE regulations, and that are nothing but the qualification and certification procedure for energy manager and energy auditors, and also accreditation procedure for energy audit firms. Let's see what is Bureau of Energy Efficiency. This is the logo of BEE, that is Bureau of Energy Efficiency, and the Bureau of Energy Efficiency is an agency of the Government of India under the Ministry of Power created in March 2002 under the provision of the nation's 2001 Energy Conservation Act. The agency's function is to develop programs which will increase the conservation and efficient use of energy in India. The government has proposed to make it mandatory for certain appliances in India to have ratings by the BEE starting in January 2010. I would like to mention that, as I said, the government proposed it mandatory for certain appliances in India that ratings has to be mentioned by the BEE. For example, suppose you are going to store to buy any electronic appliances. On that, the star ratings are mentioned on that. That star ratings are mentioned or designated by with the help of Bureau of Energy Efficiency. The mission of Bureau of Energy Efficiency is to institutionalize energy efficiency services, enable delivery mechanisms in the country, and provide leadership to energy efficiency in all the sectors of the country. The primary objective would like to reduce the energy intensity in the economy. Let's see the objectives of Bureau of Energy Efficiency. The broad objectives of BEE are nothing but to exert leadership and provide the policy recommendation and direction to national energy conservation and efficiency efforts and programs. Second objective is to coordinate energy efficiency and conservation policies and programs and take it to the stakeholders. Next is to establish systems and procedures to measure, monitor, and verify energy efficiency results in individual sectors as well as at a macro level. Next objective is to leverage multilateral and bilateral and private sector support in implementation of Energy Conservation Act and efficient use of energy and its conservation program. Next objective is that to demonstrate the delivery of energy efficiency services as mandated in the Energy Conservation Bill through private public partnership. And the last objective is that to interpret, plan, and manage energy conservation programs as envisaged in the Energy Conservation Act. Now let's see the role of Bureau of Energy Efficiency. The role of BEE would be to prepare the standards and labels of appliances and equipment, and also develop a list of designated consumers, specify the certifications and accreditation procedure, and also prepare the building codes, maintain the central energy conservation fund, and undertake promotional activities in coordination with central and state level agencies. The role of BEE would include development of the ESCOs and transforming the market for energy efficiency and create the awareness through measure including the clearing house. And the next one is actions and activities. Under the actions and activities, it would be considered as an energy audit. The government of India has identified certain energy intensive industries labeled as designated consumers and made it compulsory for them to conduct energy audits following the Bureau of Energy Efficiency and their regulations, which is enacted in 2010. It has declared new energy standards for ACs, which will be applicable from 1st January 2021. Let's say the energy policy, and about the energy policy in India. The energy policy of India is largely defined by the country's expanding energy deficit and increased focus on developing alternative sources of energy, particularly nuclear, solar, and wind energy. India attended 63% overall energy self-sufficiency in 2017. The primary energy consumption in India grew by 2.3% in 2019, and it is the third biggest after China and USA with 5.8% global share. The total primary energy consumption from coal, that is nothing but 452.2 megaton, that is 55.88%, crude oil, which is of 29.55%, natural gas, which is of 6.17%, and nuclear energy, which is of 1.09%, hydroelectricity 3.91%, and renewable power, which is of 3.40%. In 2018, India's net imports are nearly 205.3 million tons of crude oil and its products, 26.3 megatons of LNG, and 141.7 megatons of coal, totaling to 373.3 megatons of primary energy, which is equal to 46.13% of the total primary energy consumption. India is largely dependent on fossil fuel imports to meet its energy demands by 2030. India's dependence on energy imports is expanding to exceed 53% of the country's total energy consumption. About 80% of India's electricity generation is from fossil fuels. India is surplus in electricity generation and also marginal exports of the electricity in 2017. Since the end of calendar year 2015, huge power generation capacity has been entailing from want of electric demand. In 2017-18, in the year of 2017-18, the per capita energy consumption is 23.355 gigajoules, excluding the traditional biomass use, and the energy intensity of the Indian economy is 0.2332 megajoules per INR. Due to the rapid economic expansion, India has one of the world's fastest growing energy markets, and it is expected to be the second largest contributors to the increase in global energy demand by 2035. According for 18% of the rise in global energy consumption. Given India's growing energy demands and the limited domestic oil and gas reserve, the country has ambitious plan to expand its renewable and most worked out nuclear power program. India has the world's fourth largest wind power market and also plans to add about 10 10,000 or up to 1 lakh megawatt of solar power capacity by 2020. India has envisages to increase the contribution of nuclear power to overall electricity generation capacity from 4.2% to 9% within 25 years. Indian solar power PV tariff has fallen to 2.44 rupees per kilowatt hour in May 2017, which is lower than any other type of power generation in India. In the year of 2020, the levelized tariff in US dollars for solar PV electricity has fallen to 1.35 cents per kilowatt hour. Also, the international tariffs of solar thermal storage power plants has fallen to US dollars 0.063 per kilowatt hour, which is cheaper than the fossil fuels. The cheaper hydro solar power need not depend on costly and polluting coal or gas fired power generation for ensuring stable grid operation. Solar electricity price is going to become the benchmark price for deciding the other fuel prices based on their ultimate use and advantages. Let's see the resources for energy generation in India. First is oil and gas. Next, coal. Next is biofuels, nuclear power, hydroelectricity, wind power, solar energy, solar thermal power, hydrogen energy. These are the resources for energy generation in India. Thank you. Thank you very much.